you have not become a patron of the Geocache Talk Network, what are you waiting for? Patron levels start as low as a Bison Tube level at $3 a month. To sign up is easy. Simply go to the Geocache Talk website and click on the Become a Patron button, or go to patreon.com/Geocache Talk. Patrons now get the famous Blackout coin, invites to special events, and other really great items throughout the year. Become a patron today. Have you subscribed to FTF Magazine yet? FTF Magazine is the #1 geocaching magazine available. It is a quarterly magazine that you can be part of. Submit your geocaching milestones and adventures to be published. FTF Magazine is also interactive with puzzles to solve and the hunt to find Spartacus. If you can solve the puzzle or find Spartacus, then you will be entered in to win a special pack tag. Every new subscription, you will receive a special swag pack. Subscribing is easy. Just visit FTF's website, ftfgeo.com. Don't miss out and subscribe today.
Hello, and welcome to Challenge Talk, part of the Geocache Talk Network. You can watch the show live on the first Sunday of each month. Feel free to jump over to YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter to watch the broadcast live and join the wonderful and active chat room, or listen to the entire show later on your favorite podcast player.
In tonight's episode, we're going to review some questions that have been submitted by our audience. That's you, and provide some of the answers to those questions based on our research.
And we also have prizes to give away each show to our listeners. Between each show, be sure to email your challenge cache finds to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com, and you could be a winner.
Later in the show, we're also going to play our special game exclusively for our live audience, the Wheel of Challenges. So listen live, get your email app ready, and follow instructions when the time comes so you can have a chance at winning tonight's grand prize.
And at the end of the show, we'll highlight some of the challenge caches you found, and someone will win our coveted monthly giveaway. We are your hosts, Emily and Tim. How you doing, Tim?
I'm doing actually excellent. But you know what? I'm going to turn it around and ask you that question first, because I got a lot I want to talk about.
You got a lot of news. Yeah.
I have a lot of news.
I'm doing good. I've had a pretty slow month. Just yesterday, I found my 5th cache for the Easy Wheel of Challenges souvenir. So pretty slow June. But I did have a Maker Magic event on Friday night, and being a part of the Geocache Talk Network, I decided to have a removing the mystery of mystery caches type of event. We talked about solving puzzles, resources for it, puzzle talk, as well as challenges, challenge talk, and helping people be less afraid of mystery caches. And we had some newbies, and that was really good to talk through that kind of stuff with them.
Oh, cool. Very nice. Yeah, I held one myself, and I did kind of containers, and I had about 30 people attend, and we went around the room, and I had a group of, rookie cachers and experienced cachers. And then I went to another one on Friday night, which was all about letterboxing.
Nice. So that's a good topic.
Same kind of topic.
Yeah,
so,
good.
Yeah, that worked out. Cool. Well, for my month, and I'll apologize to the audio listeners, I had some great news last Tuesday. And there I am with my new
Grandpa.
grandson. Clark William Green, my son Jason behind me, proud papa. And so, yeah, we are ecstatic. The little guy came a week early, so he's not going to interrupt my Cache Fest plans, which I know everybody in the audience is thrilled about. My family's not so much. They're not into geocaching as much as I am.
But that was important to us.
Yeah, it really was. So came out in the afternoon of last Tuesday. Mom and baby are doing fine, and we're going to go down on the 4th of July to see them. They live in St. Joseph, Michigan, about an hour and a half away from us. So yeah, so that's part of the big news for me. A couple of other things, though. I am looking for a roommate at Cache Fest.
Okay.
So if there's anybody out there listening that hasn't gotten a room booked or is looking to make a last minute decision, I'm at the host hotel, and I have a bedroom with 2 queen beds in it. I need one, but then I'll be happy to share the other one. all I have to do is share expenses along with that, which is what I'm trying to do. So
Sure.
if you have that, I'll throw that out there. And then my second thing for those challenge folks is I want to go to Texas and I want to do the Longhorn Challenge Trail in late October, maybe early November. And I'm looking for a posse that wants to go with me, ideally 4 folks. You don't have to come all the way from Michigan to Texas and back, but if you do, that's great. And so I'll throw that out there too to our challenge audience. I know there's a lot of people that want to do the challenge trail. So if you're interested, for either of those, the best way to do it is to message me through geocaching.com. And then we'll get together, we'll talk about things, and we'll make sure we align well and do that. So that's my month. And after that, I only did like 355 caches.
Only compared to my 5. Well, for audio listeners, your geocaching name is Merlin1392, MERLIN 1392, to message you about any of those things. All right.
So cool.
Congratulations again, Tim.
Thank you. Thank you.
And that'll be fabulous. Bring them up geocaching.
I'm really looking forward to that. I know that my buddy Neil Moore has done a day with grandkids. He's got a lot more grandkids than I do. This is number 1 for me. So when he gets old enough, we think we're going to do a day with grandma and grandpa, and absolutely geocaching will be one of the things we do.
Yeah, that'll be great. That'll be great. Well, we do have another community news item, and this is related to our Vault key. So all of you who are still solving puzzles to try to get a Vault key to bring to Memphis, here you go.
All righty. So this is key number 38, clue number 1. And it is it's a picture. So again, for our audio listeners, really want to apologize there that we don't have anything to read. But we're looking at what looks to be a sailboat, and that certainly looks like geocaching.
The geocaching app? Yeah, on a cell phone. Yeah.
So that's key 38. It will get posted up to Facebook. Our trusty key lackey in the Pizza Ninja. Hopefully we'll get that up there after tonight's show. And that's another thing I'm looking forward to seeing is all of the keys to see who gets
I am
the
so
ball.
excited to see people try their keys at Cache Fest on what is it, July 15th. So
July 15th.
I cannot wait to see whose key opens the vault. It'll be great. All right. And then also starting tomorrow, the new Wheel of Challenges starts again. And this one is about streaking. So we just ended a month where we were getting numbers of, what was it? Numbers of days, not consecutive. And this month it is about consecutive. So I think I can definitely get the 2-day streak easy souvenir, the 7-day streak medium souvenir, only because I'm going to Memphis. But I am not trying for the 28-day souvenir.
You're not? I'm going to give it a go, but
I can't. I just don't. I don't have caches to do that. It's just.
But you need Adventure Lab. So when you're in the Memphis airport, have you got the one in the I don't know which way, if you fly out of SeaTac or somewhere else, but is there one there?
Well, there's a Adventure Lab in Minneapolis that I don't have because that's newer since the last time I flew through there. And yeah, Memphis has one that's newer since the last time I flew through. So I will get those. So that's how I can get my 7-day souvenir. Just not 28.
All right. Yeah, it was kind of hard.
Yeah.
Well, and this month, in terms of, we always talk about the statistics and, how many caches are placed. We had 311 new challenge caches come out in the world this month, which
great.
It's one of the better months that we've had so far. And worldwide, there is now 37,769 active challenge caches. Great. So if you can't find a challenge cache, you're not looking hard enough. And the USA still is 15,755, and then Germany, Canada, Norway, France are all up there on the top.
All right. Yep. And I keep trying to little by little add to challenges in my community, trying to make people not afraid of them, feeling like it's something they do want to work towards, especially if they're new. I did hear some of that feedback from the newer cashier at my event. Why am I trying these things? So, trying to build that inspiration through challenge caches. I think a lot of you in our audience, you have the bug, you have the inspiration. So yeah, I'm just trying to build that more in my community.
Cool.
Yeah.
Trying to check out the chat room and see that it's very active as always, but they're talking about pizza and a pizza delivery boat.
Oh,
So
for the clue, pizza
I
delivery
think so.
boat. Maybe that is our puzzle. I
Could
like
be.
it. Very good.
So as we start tonight, we're going to talk a little bit about Cash Fest. And I don't recall doing this last month. I don't think we did because the checker came out after we did our show last month. But I have to send out kudos to a checker creator called Hugh, Hugh. He's from Canada. And when the challenges came out, we knew we wanted to have a checker for them. And I checked in with the person that wrote them last year and said, would you be able to update them for us this year? And he was not able to do that because of travel and his schedule. So I checked with a local person in my area here who was ironically headed off to China for a vacation. So he was out. Another good friend out in California who is a host on another podcast, Taz 427. Thanks, Chad. I reached out to him and he was like, sure, I can do it. And he hasn't written a checker in too long, so he wasn't able to do it. So then I started to panic. And I went into the checker forums and I put out there saying, this is what we'd like to have. Can anybody help us with this? And within 30 minutes, Hugh contacted me back. It was late at night here. I gave him the outline, and about 2 hours later, he goes, here. And I said, great, it's late. I'm going to bed. I'll check it in the morning. In the morning, I got up and he said, don't use that other one. It's old. Use this one. So Hugh created the checker. I love it. It's got lots of graphics. It tells you exactly where you are and
Yeah.
how many points you have.
It's very straightforward. If you haven't used it yet for the pre-event challenge that we put out for you all, it's very easy to use to check your status. And that's what we're going to ask you to use to show us your proof of completion at our table at Cash Fest. And if you haven't used it, but you're just, cashing along and seeing what you can accomplish by the time Cash Fest comes along, we'll have the link for you and it'll be just a breeze to run. So yes, many thanks for that. And wait a minute, what's this? David says, rumor of new challenge caches in Memphis? I like the sound of that.
Me too.
All right. Let's see if we can learn more about that rumor.
All right. And just to let people know that, last month I threw out that Cash Fest challenge that you could get one of my personal path tags. It's actually going to be one of the ones that I'm running out of. So it's going to be kind of an exclusive path tag.
Yeah.
If you can equal or beat my score. And I'll announce tonight that right now I'm at 63 points.
Wow. So you are above and beyond our obsessed casher level of points. But
yes,
we do have some obsessed cashers coming to Cash Fest. So, and so that obsessed level is getting 50 or more points on those Geo River trails.
Yep. And I need 2 more pictures, and I'm going kayaking in a lake on Wednesday. And it looks like, according to where the cache is placed, I might have to go up a river from the lake in order to find the cache. So that'll be 1 more point. And
All
then
right.
I just need 1 more to make it over the top. So
that's so
anyway,
cool.
There's your challenge. So
yeah. And we've had some questions about how pictures count. So, we're going to ask you, just have fun with it. each picture is a standalone picture. So if you have a picture with a painted ammo can in a geocaching shirt, that's great, but it's got to count for one of them. And then, we've had some questions, picture with a riverboat. Doesn't have to be a full-size riverboat on a river. So if you have a riverboat model or a riverboat something, that counts too. So just have fun. We're not going to be super stringent about our rules there. Just come to us being able to show us your achieved pictures, maybe in a folder on your phone in your gallery. Any other thoughts, Tim, on the pictures?
Yeah, because I was telling people a little bit differently
Uh-oh.
because yeah, I was sitting in a chair in my geocaching shirt reading a geocaching book, and that would be 2. And if you were out and about with Cache Fest, so yeah, I used the pictures to count for as many as it would work. The only difference was the Cache Fest item versus the Challenge Talk item. Those had to be 2 different pictures.
Okay, well, I'm
But
good with
otherwise
it.
you could
I'm
team
good
them
with it.
up. So yeah.
Okay, cool. Listen to
So either
Tim.
way, I mean, if you have 20 unique pictures, or if you have 5 pictures that have 20 things
All
in
the
them,
elements.
again, it's all about having fun.
It is. It is.
And, we tried to make them a little bit more challenging for the challenge obsessed folks.
Mhm.
So, some of those along the finding caches, I know those are a stretch. Pictures shouldn't necessarily be a stretch. So have fun with it. Yeah. Make it easy. Make it easy.
Okay.
Let's have fun. But we have another challenge, don't we?
Another fun challenge. We just want to keep on making it fun at Cache Fest. Yes. So at Cache Fest, between Wednesday the 12th and Friday the 14th, we want to see you guys. We hope that we run into you, that we can chat. I know that's very likely that'll happen because we're both planning on being there all week. And if you see us out in the wild, we've got some catchphrases for you. Tim, my catchphrase is, if you saw me, you would say,
Challenge accepted.
and if I see you, I will say, challenge completed. And we're going to have something for you if you do that. If you see us in the wild on those 3 days and say our phrase, we each have our own phrase, we're going to give you a little prize for that.
Now,
and we ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to qualify this because
Yes.
we're not going to have pockets and pockets of stuff. We're limited quantities. All of our stuff is kind of limited. One prize per person, whether you see Emily or you see me. So you only have to see one of us to win. Don't have to see both of us, and just get one. That way we can share and hopefully have enough for everybody.
Yeah, because we have the same prize.
Yeah.
So yeah.
All right, let's get into some more questions.
All right. So now we're going to switch over to Project GC because we hear from you guys every now and then about questions you have. And so we want to bring those to the whole community's attention because if you have the question, there's a really good chance someone else has the question. And I thought we would kick off with something that I always have a question about. And it seems like a simple one. It seems like my solution should be simple. I should just bookmark the page. But I always struggle with finding the forums, the Project GC forums. And I'm specifically looking for one specific page when I'm starting to hide a challenge cache, because there's a really great pinned post that says read me. And it gives you a really good outline of what you should do before you ask for your challenge checker to be built and what you should include to build your challenge checker. It's so good, but Tim, I can never find this. So even tonight in preparation for this show, I could not find this. So we want to show you guys because I doubt it's just me. If it is, I'll take it. But so you're going to go to the tools section, and we have this pulled up for our listener or our viewers. But you're going to go to the tools along the top toolbar, And then you're going to, under the main heading of challenges, you're going to click challenge checkers. And then when that page loads, there's two things that you can look at. So, Tim, that second button, there's two buttons there. One says,
The first
you're
one
gonna have
is
to read that for
Challenge
me.
Checker Forum.
Uh-huh.
The top button is the Challenge Checker Forum. Go there if you want to have a checker request.
Right.
The other one just shows the latest of the forum threads. So of all the forums that are on Project GC, it kind of gives a display above the checker search area so that you can see what some of the forum threads are.
Yeah, so that's kind of like the what's new. So then if you click on that first button, the challenge checkers, third option down there is checker requests. That's where you'll click both to request it, but also see that pinned post at the top that says read. Oh, excuse me. It says read first, not read me. And that is the really, really useful post. So I am going to bookmark this for myself so that I quit forgetting how to find it. But we're also going to include this in our show notes with the specific web address for this read first post.
The forum link.
Yeah, to help all of you guys out when you reference our show notes. So I just thought I'd kick it off with, hey, here's Emily's challenge of finding that post.
There you go. And in here it talks about what makes a valid challenge, what the costs are for this, which there really aren't, but give them a nice thank you.
Yeah, you have the potential to donate back to your checker or your checker creator to help them, thank them for their time.
Right. And then it talks about the typical workflow and how you should do your request and things like that.
And I find it helpful every single time. Putting out a challenge cache, unless you're doing it every day, there's a few things to remember. So it's just a very good post to reference every time. All right, and we're going to get into a question from Geocaching with Hailmeister. He asks, what is the explanation for the challenge difficulties grid on Project GC under the challenge section on your profile stats? And so this can be seen in a number of places. So on the screen, we have a picture of the challenge checker rectangle. It says Project GC challenge checker. There's a number in the green box. That's the number of all-time people who have checked and qualified for the challenge. And then there's a number in a red box. That's the number of people over all time who have checked and not qualified. And then over on the left side, you see there's a checkbox here because when I ran a checker, I qualified. So that's the green check for me personally, where I got this picture from. But there's a skull and crossbones with a number, and every challenge checker has this number. And that is your challenge difficulty rating. So, so this is a number on the scale from 0 to 100. And we're also going to include a link in our show notes. There's actually a Project GC page all about the challenge difficulty. So you can read lots and lots of info on it. But this page explains that for every challenge checker in the system, of course, there's a challenge difficulty calculated. This difficulty is based on how many geocachers fulfill the challenge or not. So Project GC is running challenge checkers in the background for tens of thousands of geocachers. So whether we're looking to run it for ourselves or not, they're being run. And then this process is a part of the auto challenge checker system. The result of these runs is used to calculate the challenge difficulty. And so all that algorithm stuff is producing that number. The higher the number is to 100, the harder overall based on the community accomplishments gives us that number.
Yeah, it takes like 3. You need to be a really good math whiz in order to figure this one out. It's how many people in a country qualify, in a region qualify, and in a locale qualify. And based on those numbers, yeah, and it isn't necessarily for every cache, because up on the screen right now you can see that I brought my challenge page up from Project GC, and you can see that the first two, which were in 2012, that's pre-moratorium, they don't have a score. And so there wasn't a checker written, there isn't a checker written, and so it doesn't have a score. But then a lot of the other caches that I have found recently do, and I can bring in the matrix of challenge difficulty, which I scroll down to. So the lowest challenge difficulty that I found is a +4. So I think that is a 4 on the difficulty scale, a very easy challenge.
Easy.
And then the highest for me has been a 96.
Ooh.
And I've looked at a few, and I found 2 of those, but I have no 97, 98, 99, or 100s. I tried to do some looking around when we were researching this for Hellmeister, and I could not find anything above a 97 right
Interesting.
now. Yeah. And again, you don't want to make a challenge that is just so doggone hard that nobody qualifies for.
I don't think they'd let us publish a challenge like that.
Yeah. Well, and in fact, they don't, because, currently the guidelines state that it has to be attainable by the person submitting the challenge, number one. And at least in our area, reviewers are looking for maybe 5 to 10,
yes,
maybe 15 others that also would qualify.
Yeah.
So,
and we've got a question here in the chat. Casey11 asked, do reviewers use this data on deciding on whether or not to approve a challenge cache? That's a good question. I have never heard that. I know when I submit a challenge cache, I do my own research to the best of my ability, where I'm running the checker for my newly built cache. Even before I get the checker, I try to find a similar checker to find the qualifiers in my area. And then when I'm submitting the cache, I tell the reviewers the specific names of the people who qualify to get it approved. So I guess I should say I don't know, but
yeah, I'm going to say as much as
we've got an official answer, though. Just Finding Our Way says the answer to that is no.
So there you go. Good. All right. Just Finding Our Way. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you very much. So yeah, so you've got that number there to, I guess, enjoy your statistics around it.
Yeah. And I do know that the first time I went through the data in Project GC, this rating was intended to be something internal to Project GC, and something happened where it got publicly posted, and so they just left it.
Okay.
So it was intended, and Kitty Catch brought up, there it is, that the difficulties do change because it is based on when they run that routine. And again, it's based on how many in the country, how many in the area, how many in the locals. There's a how many thing. And yeah, they will change based on more people qualifying for the challenge.
Yeah.
So
cool.
So there you go, Mr. Hailmeister. And then this was an interesting one that Acorn Mama asked me about. And her question was trying to fulfill a challenge for each cache size. And her specific GC is 5 Foxtrot Whiskey Alpha Zulu. It's here in Michigan, and I have qualified. And I'm going to try to bring this one up now for how I do this, because it is a little wonky to try to find this. So when I go to just the geocaching.com website, I'm going to do a standard search, and I'm going to do a filtered search from my home location, and I'm going to say, let's go 30 miles away for caches that I have not found. Pretty standard search. And I'm not going to do anything else because I just want to see what's going on. And I'm going to apply that filter, bring my stash up, and I've got 509 results at this point. And they are sorted by distance from home, as they normally do, and size is one of the columns that I'm going to click on size and sort. And the first ones come out none, and here's the ones that are other. Now, other is the vernacular of not chosen, and then it starts micro. So for me, what I would do is highlight, I'd go over to the left-hand side, and I would click on all of those caches that I want the other from. And then I'd put them in a list. I'd add to a list, and this is going to be my not chosen list, and say go. Now here's the rub with what we've done here. If I go now to my list view, there's my not chosen list at the top, and I click on it. Oh, they fixed it. This used to say none. When I ran this just a couple weeks ago, it said none here.
Oh, interesting.
And now it says other. And I wrote into HQ about it, and they didn't really have a great answer for it. But now it looks like it comes back to being other. So that's how you can pull up, you can find those not chosen. And the particular challenge that I'm looking at says 100 of each type. So how, if you've got 95 not chosen and you qualify for all the other ones, how do you get to 100 in just the not chosen? This is kind of the way you do it, because you can't search on not chosen. It's not a thing anymore. So that hopefully then answers Acorn Mama's question.
All right. And we have linked from her question the specific challenge that she's asking about. So you can check that out in the show notes. And then since you've been talking, Marcellus made a comment. I've got a challenge rated as 99. So they do exist.
All right. Did he give us the GC number?
No,
for
I
asked. Marcellus, so please.
If you've got that, share it with us. We'd like to see.
We'll put that challenge up. Challenge accepted.
Right? Hey, maybe you can get it someday. All right. So we have another user submitted question. Casey11 asked, I noticed there's a what's hot feature on the Project GC website. I use the feature often to see which caches in my area are popular at any given time. My caches will often make it onto the map too, which is really fun to see, no doubt. However, I have no clue what criteria Project GC uses. Do you happen to know the qualifications that are necessary for a cache to make it on the What's Hot map? I know it's somehow based on favorite points, but it seems as though there are some other stats that figure into it as well. So, Tim, you did some good research for us to find the answer in 2 parts.
Yeah, and this was, I did send a note into Project GC Help because I found the first part of it when I looked up with what's hot. It says some magic algorithms. They're trying to come up with caches with favorite points and caches that are popular right now. Most of the caches found are all from over a country, but a small part will focus around your home coordinates. The algorithm works best in countries where there actually are a lot of favorite points spent. It seems that some favorite points are more rare in some countries than other. So that was the first part of about that. And I'm not a fan of magic. I mean, as much as I Merlin, I get the magic, but come on, there must be a better answer. And so Hans sent me a message from PGC support and said the basis of the algorithm is that it looks at the logs of geocaches and picks the top 100 per country. The top 100 is based on having the highest percentage of favorite points during the last 30 days. Now, there's 11 countries that have the most geocaching activity, and they get 200. So your top 200 is going that way. And Yeah, we're getting a whole bunch. So our research department is finding lots of challenges that
Yes,
are at that 99 level. Who's got the
I'm
100?
right? I'm making notes of all these GC numbers you guys are sharing in the chat so that I can add them to the show notes and you guys can reference later. Marcellus's cache is GC8, excuse me, GCA 35JE. So we'll make a whole list that you guys are sharing with us so everyone can have that and accept a challenge of finding these really hard challenges. I'm excited after the show to go look and see what these challenges are.
Yeah, so let me just, while we're here, and Marcellus was the first one that I saw in. So his challenge, is it his challenge? No, it's from Carrot Killer. So you made it to Texas. Congratulations. The qualifications for this challenge cache are to find a geocache in all 8 states that border Texas. There's 4 U.S. states: Louisiana, Arkansas, Oklahoma, New Mexico, and 4 Mexican states. So you got to visit Mexico. But that's interesting. So again, it's based on how many countries and how many people and, how many. So that seems like a really difficult. It's a 4.5-2 challenge on its own, but apparently not a lot of people qualify, and that's what gives it that 99.
Right. That would going to Mexico would be my hang up on qualifying for that.
Yeah, me too, especially
Never
right
been.
along the border. I've been to Cozumel. I have no problem doing that, but yeah, I don't think so.
And then Tim, this comment, Merlin has a 98, this GC7X3M5. It's not hard, maybe just not found often. And maybe that number is misleading.
That's interesting. Now, is she saying that I have one or she has one that I qualify for? Oh, it's the historic caches of Ogama County. So Ogama County, Michigan. Yeah, I think this is a 98. That's interesting. Doesn't show. Oh, I may not have logged it yet. I think this is one that I recently qualified for. Yes, I recently qualified for it, but I have not logged it yet. And so that's why it doesn't show up on my stats. But
all right, so
this again is going to be one. This you have to find 5 of 7 of the oldest in the county. And yep, I think this is one that just not a lot of people have found. So that puts it higher on the the scale.
Right. And then one more thing, one more question. We saw this question on Facebook posted by Gary Nees, and it says, I recently went on a road trip and logged lots of counties. I am wondering if there's a way in Project GC to tell me the counties I logged. And so, yes, there is a way. And Tim is going to share the screen to show you how we find this specific tool. So you'll start again by up at the top, you'll use the tools toolbar. And from there, you're going to go to the map counties tool. And then on that tool, you're going to select the county and the region that you were. And you're going to then add a filter. And this filter, you're going to make it specific to be a date filter. So you can then look at the specific time you were there, and it should give you the specific results of the counties you found.
Well, let's see how this works then. I'll go for United States. I'll go for Michigan, and I'll add a filter from to log date. Okay, so it starts out with the year. So I'll take 2023. I'll start May 1st, since that's kind of a magic number for us. And then I will say to 23, and I will say July, and I will say the 2nd, and go. And I get a map that shows me green counties and red counties. And because I did for Michigan, it's only showing me for Michigan right now. And then as per typical, what I can do is scroll down again, and then I see the county list for Michigan. and I managed to find 90 in Missaukee County, and that was a trail for a day. I found 83 in Kent County. That's the county I live in. And then 65 in Ottawa County. So I get the numbers from each county that I was in, and there's that 30 for Ogama County. And when I was there, I did that historic challenge.
All right.
So
and those are the counties you've cashed in since May 1st, because you've
correct.
probably cashed all of Michigan.
I have actually cashed every county in Michigan, but only since May 1 have I cashed in these particular counties.
Yeah, so that's a good tool. Project GC just has so many variations where you can take your statistics, and sometimes it's just really a matter of playing, of imagining, and also understanding the terminology used in some cases. So
and it's trying to find them. I know we've done some shows on Project GC, and we could probably do a whole year's worth of show just on Project GC and not get to the bottom one. So
right. Yeah. So definitely look back at some of our old shows in our playlist, because we have a lot of different Project GC topics covered over the years. All right. So thank you all for sending those in. We love to hear what's going on in your caching arena and what you're trying to do and figure out. And if you're trying to figure it out, more than likely it'll benefit someone else from us talking about it. So feel free to send in any more questions. We'll add them to future shows at challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com.
Super. And you think it's time to play our game?
I think it's time to play our game.
All right. Uh-oh.
So Tim's pulling up.
I always run through this.
That's all right.
There it is.
Tim's pulling up our Wheel of Challenges. One live viewer each month will be selected to face off against the wheel to have a chance to win the grand prize, which is a one-year membership on Project GC. And we do ask that you have a limit of 3 wins total. But to play, we are asking you to email challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com with the subject "spin me," followed by your geocaching username in brackets, and answer this question. What is one of the Challenge Talk secret phrases for Cache Fest that you must say to me or Tim? And I am going to jump into our email and see who our first correct answer comes from.
All right. And while we're there, so Judy asks a question about the challenge checker for Cache Fest shows that I qualify for the challenge, which is the green check mark, but I haven't completed all of it. And that is true. I did not ask Hugh about that, but I do believe it's a requirement in order to go through all of the qualification pieces. So the fact that you qualify for one means that you qualify for one of those challenges, and then it will go through all the rest of them. So the green check is not really what you're looking for. What you're looking for is just under that, where it tells you how many points you have. And if you do complete a complete river, then you will get the extra bonus 5 points. They'll just kind of automatically show up. Do we have a winner?
We do have a winner. Are you ready?
You do. So, I am.
The first, this is great. I'm chuckling. No big deal. So
what?
my speech was a little bit slurred, but I will take this. So Direwolf 821 was our first correct answer, person to answer. He said, "Oh crap, I thought you said Sydney instead of spin me." So that's what he put in the email, but I really didn't even notice that. So we're going to take it, Direwolf, and we are going to put you up against the Wheel of Challenges. That's great. I didn't even notice until you said that in the live chat. So Tim, let's spin that wheel.
Didn't Direwolf win on another show recently? He's like taking everything home. I wonder if he found a key. If Direwolf found a key, we're all in trouble because he's probably going to win.
I don't see that Direwolf has ever won the Wheel of Challenges. So,
all right. So we have a non-traditional alphabet challenge for
all
him.
right, with a difficulty of 4. So what is this
Okay.
challenge?
So this is a 4-1. There are 6 types which can be used. Mystery, multi, earth cache, letterbox. All of your alphabet letters need to be of one type of a cache. So, and it's a this one sounds kind of hard, but he may have this. So you can pick any one particular cache type, and then you need caches that begin with the letters A through Z.
Gosh, is there a
And
checker on that?
there is. Here we go. I had it up there. I had to
Wow,
bring
there
it
is
back.
a checker on that. I
Yeah.
mean, I know that's what we aim for, but when you talk through that, I was
Okay. Now
interested.
the hard part for me now is I got to spell direwolf right. Direwolf 821. There you are. And we'll run the checker. Yeah, there's the difference. Direwolf didn't put the capitalization in.
Oh, so what do we got
no.
here? This tells us is that traditional types?
Has not found any groups of 26 or more cache names of the same type.
So that
Try
looks like
additional cache name.
the results giving are for traditional caches. Is that correct?
No, this is for an unknown cache.
Oh, unknown cache.
So
I can't read it.
It's displaying an unknown cache. But what it's looking for is groups of 26 or more of different cache names for the same type of cache.
Yeah, so at first glance, it looks like no X's on that list. So that means at least missing 1. Oh, sorry, Direwolf, but happy you played and happy Sydney didn't stop us from you playing this week.
All right, thank you.
Yeah, so keep on participating, all you live viewers. We love to have you here, and this is just a fun way to include you in the show. So next up, we will go to our monthly challengers. Every month, we give a congratulatory shout out to listeners who email us proof of qualifying and logging a challenge cache since the last show. Anyone who sends an email to challengetalkpodcast@gmail.com with the GC code having a found it log and include a photo if you'd like to share for that month will be entered for the prize giveaway for a Challenge Talk Path tag. So here are a few of the interesting challenges we heard about from our listeners. And this first one I'm going to share is coming from Seebeck Tribe. This is GCA99QF. Zombies Challenge Backyard Barbecue Attributes. And this is to complete a backyard barbecue with attributes. Find 1 yard, 30 picnic tables, 100 food attributes, 100 water attributes, 1 campfire, 5 livestock, 1 recommended for kids, and 1 dogs allowed. So that's a really fun attribute combination challenge. And then what was really neat was Lori sent this challenge into us during last month's show. She said, while listening to your podcast on June 4th, I got to be first to find on this challenge cache after getting another first to find on an earth cache on that same day. So that was just really fun story behind the whole finding and qualifying for this challenge cache. So thanks, Lori, for sending that in.
That's cool. And our next one comes in from Dune Buddy, and it is GCA8K6G, and it's a well-rounded geocaching challenge, the 5 S's. And so in this challenge, you have to acquire at least 5 souvenirs, 5 caches for each of the 5 cache sizes. So that's another 35 caches right there. You have to find 5 caches in at least 5 cache types. And lab caches are included in this particular one. Sometimes labs are included and sometimes not. We've included them for Memphis, and he's included them here, or the person has. And you have to find 5 caches for each of 5 different DT combinations. And this one has a rating of an 11 on it, so it looks like it's fairly easy to accomplish. So, but it's kind of fun. I like these well-rounded ones. Those are fun for me.
They are fun. I like that you included that difficulty rating. We're gonna have to start including that when we talk about caches. Now that we've covered that, very good. Our next one was submitted by Peachy 1276, and this is GC A9EE9 10 types, 10 states challenge. So you have to find 10 cache types in 10 different states. And she said this is a tough one, and it was out for a while before she got the first to find on June 20th. So congratulations on doing both a tough one and being first to find on that.
Wow, and this one is a 93. So this is a tough challenge. And yeah, lots of notes. Peachy's the first one. A couple of notes on it. She's the only one that's found it so far.
So far. Well, good. Congrats.
And it's interesting. A long tot was used to place this cache in a 20-centimeter tree. Your mileage may vary. Sounds like it's up in the air. Doesn't require a tree climbing, but it's a winter-friendly one, so that could be up there. The next one comes in from Team Tail Wagger, and this is one that I've signed, but I don't know that I'll ever get it. So I'm just not a big county person, but this is the Indiana Epic 92 County Challenge, GC 13054. This is a pre-moratorium challenge from 2007. And your goal here is to find at least 1 cache in all 92 Indiana counties. So I think I have found about 12.
And he said that he found his last 6 Indiana counties to qualify on his way to Geo Woodstock in May. And then he found this cache on June 9th on the way to Indianapolis to visit family. Very nice.
That's so fun.
Yeah. And then we want to share from QQ Non-Rev, GC48K61, Know Your Florida Cachers Challenge. So this one was kind of interesting to wrap your mind around. It's an old one, a pre-moratorium one. It sounds really simple to say this first part. Find 3 different types of caches hidden by 10 different cachers. So I guess if you just keep it simple and follow that, it is. But then the cache page has a lot of extra details to sort through to really make sure you're doing it right. And even though it's called Know Your Florida Cachers, you have to find, I think the cache page says 6 of the 10 different cachers have to be from Florida.
Yeah, 6 of the 10 you can use out of state, but you can't use the same cacher for multiple states. So in his example, they use Skeletor 10. And these are just Florida cachers. They're not reviewers.
Right, not reviewers.
I was thinking they were reviewers. So okay, so you have to find a friend and pull them up and look at how their stats go. So that's a very interesting one as well. How well do you know your friends? So we do appreciate everyone that sent challenges to us for the month. Keep those challenges coming. We also want to recognize the GBs, Star Cacher, Bloody Cool, Jay in LA, and Fly Guys Gal for sending in submissions this month that we just didn't get to.
Yeah. So remember, enter to win next month. Send your email in before next month's show. And this month's winner is Jay in LA. So congratulations for winning our Challenge Talk Path Tag, for sending in your challenge. And they sent it in just before the show started. We'll take them clear up until that last minute. So whenever you can send them in, send them in.
Yeah, and I got the opportunity to meet Jay in LA at Woodstock in Owensboro, and great couple. We had a lot of fun working on some adventure labs, and we were talking about challenges all the time.
Awesome.
So,
Great.
yeah.
Great. Okay. Well, thanks everyone for participating in tonight's show. And any last thoughts, Tim?
Just a few come to mind. I'm really excited about hitting Cash Fest in Memphis this year. I head out on July the 8th, and I'll be driving down kind of circuitously. Don't we do everything circuitously?
Yes,
I'm going
absolutely.
through St. Louis and Arkansas, and then I'll hit Memphis. I should be in Memphis sometime on Tuesday. We do want to thank everybody for watching and listening. The show notes are going to be posted shortly after we're done, so we'll get those out. Our next show is Sunday, August the 6th. We're going to talk about Cash Fest, and again, we want to hear your comments on how it went. What do you think of the pre-event challenges? What did you think of the event challenges? Remember, there's more challenges coming. There's a lot of challenges
I know, it's great. It's great. Check your swag packages for our other challenges to do that week. Remember our secret phrase challenge. And I am looking forward. Last year, I hit up a challenge cache of Derek's to find 100 caches in Shelby County, I believe. And so I only got about halfway there, a little more than half. So my goal, and Adventure Labs don't count. So my goal this Cache Fest week is to get enough caches other than Adventure Labs to sign or claim the find on that log claim the find on that cache since I signed the log last year.
There you go. Remember, always sign those challenge caches when you go buy them. That's why I signed the Indiana 92. I never know.
That's right. That's right.
Well, this month's quote comes from Cicely Tyson. Challenges make you discover things about yourself that you never really knew. Remember, It's not about the numbers. It's about the challenges.
Challenge accepted.
Good night, everybody.
Good night.
I got it.